The saga of Minnesota Vikings kicker Diamond Dan Bailey has been the story of the team in the last couple weeks, which is unfortunate because this is a young, overachieving team dealing with injuries, not making excuses, just fighting and clawing, trying to get their way into the playoffs. And then Dan Bailey's like, nah, I'm going to make this about me. So I missed 3 kicks against the Jaguars, almost costing the Vikings the game. But he hit the game winner from like the 9-yard line. Congratulations. And then the jabroni missed 4 kicks. 4. Quattro took 10 points off the board against the Bucs and did cost the Vikings the game in that spot. So after the stunning Bucs loss, Zimmer did his normal tough guy talk. So Zimmer on Sunday. Zimmer on how to handle Bailey after a couple weeks of struggles. At this point in time, you're not really worried about feelings anymore. Woo! And I love it. I love when Zimmer just goes full badass, goes full tough guy, is completely blunt, and just like, yeah. Wah, 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 wah. Well, bye. It's exactly what Zimmer wants to do. I mean, it's like after the Vikings cut 5th-round pick Daniel Carlson in 2018 after 2 games. Why did the Vikings cut Daniel Carlson? Mike Zimmer, did you see the game? God, it's great. It's the thing that we love most about Zimmer, but also managing the team emotions from week to week as well as in-game, you know. But him talking tough, we love it. But the Vikings did nothing. They did nothing during the week to address the kicking issues. In fact, they released Tristan Vizcaino from the practice squad, the only guy who conceivably could have replaced Dan Bailey on Sunday with full practice. But then Zimmer, talking to the media jackals, he sang a different tune about Dan Bailey yesterday. So Zimmer, this is from Chris Thompson. Vikings coach Mike Zimmer said he has a lot of confidence in kicker Dan Bailey and said, we all have bad days. He added on Bailey coming off 4 missed kicks last Sunday at Tampa. We're not going to dwell on it. Everyone else is, but we're not. Cool. All right, so Zimmer, I love how he turns around. It's like, he's trying to gaslight everyone. So, well, why are you talking about it? Why are you dwelling about it? Why are you still talking about it? Obviously, it's a big deal. I get that it's on to Chicago, but your kicker costing you a big high-profile game against the Bucs, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. And so Zimmer Sunday was basically, I'm going to tear Dan Bailey's head off. Like all of those stuffed animals, I'm just going to tear it off. And also I'm going to rip his heart out. I'm going to show it to his decapitated head. Pa-pum, pa-pum, pa-pum. Kalima. And then yesterday he's like, I've always loved Dan Bailey. That's my kicker. That's my kicker. We all struggle. We all have bad days. Why are you still talking about it? It's you. It's you, the crooked media, still talking about Dan Bailey. I love him like my second son. Actually, he's my first son. He is my son more than Adam. So what gives? Now, do I think he's lying? I think 1,000%. Like 100 to 1,000%, somewhere in that range, Mike Zimmer is lying. Like he's trying to put on a brave face here. Now, here's a guy who's always been brutally honest, but he knows that him just laying waste to Dan Bailey and continue to speak his mind as this team gears up for the Bears trying to save their season, it's probably not going to do any good. So he is pulling punches here because Dan Bailey's psyche is fragile. It's completely fragile, and it's not going to do the team any good in this de facto playoff game. So, again, a few theories of why Zimmer's 180 on Bailey. So it could be 1, Vizcaino, as well as the tryout guys, Bertolet and Catanzaro. Maybe they just sucked ass. Maybe they're just completely like double doink, triple doink, triple doink. They're just like not even in the same zip code. Like they were kicking in Eagan. The balls ended up in Northfield and Stillwater. There's like feh. And number 2, probably most likely, Spielman and Brzezinski were like, hey, we're not going to cut Dan Bailey because of his contract because we're the idiots who gave him a 3-year, $10 million deal with guaranteed money. Also, he's got $2.1 million debt against the cap in a tight cap situation. Even though hashtag cap is a myth. If the Vikings did cut him in this spot, so they're like, okay, sure. 3, maybe the ghost of Christmas Future came in and was like, oh, Ebenezer Zim, you have to be nicer to kickers or this is your future. Dun, dun, dun. He's a changed man. Cool. Or 4, and this one would irk me the most. Maybe Dan Bailey's been good in practice. I mean, we're talking about practice, man. Zimmer always goes back to practice. Well, we cut Kyle Sluter because he was bad in practice. We talk about practice. Great. Not a game, but it would be interesting. Like, say Bertolet and Catanzaro, like, they didn't suck ass at the tryouts. Maybe they're still in the Twin Cities because with the revised COVID protocols from October, if they'd stayed in the area and had been tested every day, Vikings can still sign them either today, either tomorrow, hell, even Sunday, and they would be available for the game on Sunday. Now, with 0 practice, but, just having another option just in case Dan Bailey swings the leg and Again, right? And I know everyone brings up, well, what about Mason Crosby? Mason Crosby is the reason why you hang on to a kicker because kickers always pulls out of their funk. Baloney. Mason Crosby is an extreme outlier. Like, he is beyond 5 standard deviations on the bell curve. Like, kickers, when they create or mentally, it's hard to pull out. Look at Blair Walsh. You look at a dozen kickers every single season around the league. There's a reason why they're swapped out all Yankees swap like throughout the season. But also, Mason Crosby's yips in 2017 were midseason. They were not in de facto playoff situation. If his issues had cropped up when the Packers were clawing for a playoff spot or even in the playoffs, you think he'd be there? No. And I don't know why the Vikings are just pussyfooting with this kicker situation like this. Because if it was a playoff game on Sunday, do you think Dan Bailey would be out there? No. And this is essentially a playoff game because lose, you're going home, essentially. So I don't know why they're just like, oh, well, you know, Danny, you're such a good boy. You kicked so well for us before. Also, don't reward the Packers' inactive obtuseness. I mean, back then, Ted Thompson's like, oh, yeah. What are we going to do? Sign another kicker? What do you do? And then all of a sudden, Mason Crosby pulls out. They got lucky. They got absolutely stone-ass lucky. It's like back in the 1600s, when they had a sick patient and then they put leeches on him and then the patient all of a sudden got better. It wasn't because of the leeches. It was in spite of the leeches. And they're like, it's a miracle. Leeches, it's the same thing. That's the same thing with just sticking with a kicker as he's missed 7 kicks through 2 games. Also, the whole, Dan Bailey struggled when they changed a long snapper. Who cares? You are a veteran. You're supposed to figure things out. Also, so if that is the case, it's not the case, but if that is the case, so the Vikings should have held on to Austin Cutting, the guy who was struggling in his long snapping job, the guy who had a bad snap against the Lions and a bad snap against the Bears. You know, that guy who was completely inside his own head, who actually had the yips instead of bringing in the competent veteran DePaulo. That's the ticket. It is. Bailey, you're a pro, man. Shouldn't matter who the long snapper is. Also, if the guy's a better long snapper, unaff yourself. I think that's just being fooled by randomness. But I know. Well, Dan Bailey made 36 or 39 kicks early in the year. Well, guess what? You messed up. If you mess up against the Bears, cost the Vikings 2 games in a row, almost 3 games if you count Jacksonville games, knock this team out of the playoffs. What good is that? It's like, hey, someone walks up to you, maybe OJ, and stabs you. And you're like, why'd you stab me? And then he's like, hey, don't get all pissed off. What about the times, all the times before when I didn't stab you? Calm down. What about that? Don't I get credit for that? That's exactly what's happening to Dan Bailey right now. It doesn't matter what you did earlier. It matters what you do on Sunday, right now. And I'm pissed. Like, they have no backup options. So, whatever. I think that's the spot where Zimmer's in. I think that he's clearly pissed. I think if he had his druthers, if he had full personnel control like Belichick, he would have cut Bailey probably after the Jaguars game. But since he doesn't, he has to put on a brave face for the team. I think that's what he's doing right now. I think he's just lying through his teeth. But your thoughts, Zimmer, Bailey, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.